Cause I can into things that I'm gonna do.
Raw sauce. Raw.
When I'm with you, all I get is
Just sauce. Just sauce. The thing goes.
No sauce.
Is it even still playing in the background? Why?
Big shacks.
I feel it needs a little bit of this. Oh my god, I don't know how to stop.
Now that's
Okay.
funny. I didn't expect any Axel F there. That's pretty awesome.
Sorry for all the people that are epileptics. Welcome. Let me switch here. Welcome everybody to tonight's Plumes of Hazard. I'm Mass Blast 09, and these are my co-hosts. We have Fubaka over there, and last but not least, doing some tech time tonight. The Anxious Vapor. Salakalancha. Welcome.
SpongeBob.
Welcome.
So the Axel F was actually one of the first things I learned how to play on the piano when I was a kid.
Yeah? True.
Sounds like you're playing it on your butt.
Speaking from someone who can play
Yeah.
it from his butt, I'm sure you know, Ahmed.
I don't have the
First song I learned.
the anal control for that.
Why? No.
Sorry, I don't.
Welcome. And hello and welcome and hello to all three people in chat. Welcome. And the two people watching the show. And one of those is not understudy 77. He has not been seen in a while.
He has no sauce.
I think his horse.
No
his
ketchup.
horse is stuck for
No.
water.
No ketchup.
No ketchup. Just
No
sauce.
ketchup, no sauce. So what's happening, y'all?
Boom. Nothing. I
Right?
to kind of add on to last week. I'm still. It's been like 2.5, 3 weeks or something. I've been on this massive like fishing kick. I haven't had a chance to get out yet, but I did do a little Googling this weekend, and have found a couple spots around me that should be okay. I think it'll be fun.
Yeah.
Go get my line wet, as they say. See if I can get a couple bites.
Did you get a whole bunch of invites from people after last show?
No, just those two. That's okay. Because honestly, if I got to go in Florida or in Alaska, either one of those would be epic. But until then, I'm going to see if I can't get something done around here. But yeah, no, I've just been watching the shit out of all this YouTube, and it's just making me want to go. It's funny that a couple of the guys that I saw that I first started finding that were like not like hyper produced, professional whatever YouTubers. I wanted something a little more raw like us.
Some raw sauce.
So I happened on a couple of guys, and come to find out, both of them are here in Texas, which is kind of cool. There's a couple of the other guys in their like little cadre or little compendium of fisher people that are all partners, and they all live here in North Texas. They all moved from like Illinois and Kentucky or not Kentucky, but where's the other guy from? I don't remember. Anyway, all these guys have like moved to Texas to be with these other couple people that were from here already. So I've been watching that, which has been a lot of fun. Either I'm fishing or racking up charges for PCP on your credit card. Yeah, not that kind of wet, Kyle.
Sherman
Wow, that went dark quick. Jesus Christ.
Wow, Kyle.
Yeah. Make sure he's not on it.
Are the fish bigger in Texas? Asks Addy Toonie. Yeah, that's what I understand. There's world record, lots of things coming out of her. Blue cats. I'm not sure if the largest bass is still out of here. Largemouth.
Darrow said fish out some Mexicans.
Fish in Texas wear bows.
There you go.
Plurality of fishermen is called a compendium. Not all fishermen, just this little cadre of like little group of guys that all kind of came together to make a, I don't know, some sort of sponsored group thing. They still have their individual channels, but I don't know. They're humorous. You know, it's to be honest, it's kind of shocking. So like, one guy is a retired sniper from the Army, and he's probably, I don't know, early 30s.
Mm-hmm.
But like 2 or 3 of the other guys are early 20s, like 20.
Wow.
And they've got like 500,000 subs on the YouTubes. Each of them, like each of them, like having separate channels, have got like between 5 and
that just means that they've blown their retirement money buying subs before the old guy has had a chance to buy some subs.
I had 11,000.
So before we get too far into this black hole that is the Plumes of Hazard's
fishing
internet television show, wanted to wish a happy birthday over the weekend to the one and only Eric Sire, and there he is with his present from his wife. Can you say
40th birthday present?
His 40th birthday present from his wife. Can you say holy shit?
Right, it's a sports term for those that don't know.
Can I borrow that wife for my birthday? Well, that doesn't sound right.
That does not sound right.
Maybe she can give my wife some tips on gifts, because holy shit, is that awesome or what? I mean,
Can you play the theme?
Yeah, I mean, look, Motherhead said it. He has a better wife than I do. Damn right.
So the only problem is once you buy a relatively expensive Harley Davidson, what really like doubles your monthly payment is you have to buy all the gear now with all the logos on your underwear and your socks.
No, he's gonna get a Titan Mods jacket because he's got Silverstein Jacket Company.
So so he got the bike, and then he went for a ride, and he went for a ride with his dad and with his brother. So let's set the background here. This is him with his dad. He went out and he did a little ride there. Then he caught up with his brother. Here we have a picture of him riding with his brother. And, so, I mean, I think this was an awesome weekend. So to Eric, happy birthday, my friend, and enjoy your 40th birthday present. So I hope the ride with your dad and brother was good. So there you go.
That's a pretty amazing gift. I showed my wife last night. She was like, "Holy crap!" Like, I know, right?
I had to take those pictures real quick because then they started shooting at me. So,
did you see this when you posted that on the Facebooks? Did you see the comment thread? Like somebody in there was like posted like this giant GIF of rules of like things that you cannot do. Like you can't wear anything that with the letters like HA or the number 8 or like all these. There's like 37 rules. Like okay, just. Maybe don't take yourself quite so personally.
I mean, I think there's like a few rules there on the side, on the corner, on his shirt. Also,
do not bust balls.
Yeah, no.
I hope it doesn't say "don't bust balls."
Don't bust. Classic ball blister. So
you would not be able to follow that rule.
I mean, I shed a little tear when he went for a ride with his dad. I mean, bro, like, who gets to do that anymore? You know, that's awesome.
So, I've never been riding with my dad. That's awesome.
Yeah, I know.
That's because my dad doesn't have a bike.
I'm surprised there isn't a joke from Duro about me and my dad riding in the back of a police car coming somewhere around there. But yeah, there you go. So happy birthday, Eric. So Hopefully he'll catch this never because he doesn't watch the show. I think he's in bed, honestly.
Can you blame him?
Balls are busting
Yeah.
too much.
Yeah, it's a long day of ball busting.
He drove the bike for probably, I think it was 3 miles total, and has already worn out the clutch from all that New York City driving. So, yeah, that's it. That's all you got. That's it. That's as far as you go. So,
They put a MyTech on it.
wouldn't that be awesome? That'd be a starter.
Replace one of the starter switches with MyTech. You should totally do that.
No, I don't. Could a MyTech handle it or the P9? Because I know
No, but the P. Well, I don't know.
P9
It'd have to be a
the
black-
P9 is mass tested,
It'd
mass
have to-
approved.
It'd have to be a black, glossy black P9, sanded down and matted.
Yes.
So, and maybe have a leather cover for it.
You couldn't put the P9 on it, though, because if you put P9s on it, it would be the most reliable thing on the bike.
That's true. Wait, I thought his leg was the most reliable thing on the bike. His legs.
Yeah.
Push him along.
Now, they apparently Harley has got their act together the last 2 years, but they used to say, what do they used to say? Like, if
Yeah,
it's
he
not
busted
dripping-
the balls.
if it's not dripping oil, then it's out of oil, and like his dad is Hellboy. Johnny just saw that.
This is not Hellboy.
No.
That's Clay Morrow. He's tagging the pictures. Who was asking that? Horror was asking that? Yeah.
Horror and Johnny 2419.
He obviously doesn't really know who Hellboy is. So I mean,
We should probably do you have a picture handy of
Yeah.
his forfeit? Yeah, there you go.
Hellboy. That's Hellboy right there. That's the gift I made.
You should play like Enter Sandman flashing that.
That gift
Yeah.
is gonna give somebody epilepsy.
I know. I'm sorry. Get that out of there. So that goes. Ahmed, that
That
goes
looks
with,
like Hellboy. Like that looks like Hellboy from like a Gorillaz music video.
No, that picture went with the helicopter showdown. That's what that went with.
Wait a minute.
So,
He's in here as the coil. Eric is. You remember his
He
channel? You remember
Oh, the
his
picture.
review channel?
The picture.
oh, that's right. Yeah.
He's like, I do watch your ass. Actually, there was no punctuation there, so I'm not sure if he said I do watch your ass or I do watch, comma. your ass.
Probably both. I have to. That was one of the stipulations on working on Titans is that I had to have a camera on so he could see when I'm slacking off and just. He has a remote whip. He just hits the button. It just goes. Wah! So there you go. Well, happy birthday, the Coil, Part 2. There you go. So I had to sneak into the set to get those pictures.
Sure. I appreciate it because I wouldn't be able to see it otherwise. I don't have backstage passes.
What'd you do? Bribe the guard with a pint of ice cream?
No, I just put on overalls and started cleaning.
Sweep it up.
Need more lemon pledge.
You'd be surprised what you get into when you have a rosary tattoo.
I know it's your old channel. I remember when you put those out. That was awesome.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I see him now.
Some of those were so a couple of your intros are really funny.
So he comes in here. He comes in here incognito, and waiting for us to talk about him. Didn't say anything.
Wait, he comes up dressed up like Ludacris?
That's racist, man.
That's the name of his album.
Hey, so how about we're just gonna go right into the news. How about
Wait, hold on. We gotta say we're vaping first.
Oh, well, go, guys. It's 26 minutes into the show, and you guys are so tired.
26.
Hey, Fu, what are you vaping on?
It's not
This one.
vape related.
From Coil Vapes.
Well, you put a heart on that bottle.
Yeah, holy crap.
Well, I just filled this up like not too long ago.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. It was all I've been vaping, so yeah. Put in a hurting, as the angsty says. It's on was this thing I've been vaping on for a long time.
What was that thing called? The Dugan?
Delicious.
This is a Ballbuster small girl.
No, the Addy.
Oh, the Daredevil.
Daredevil. I would call it the Dugan from now on. There was a radio show. This is completely unrelated. Never mind. Go ahead and finish your thing.
That's pretty much it.
Okay.
That's all I'm vaping right now.
I've got a couple of things that I got going on tonight. But as always, it's the Limelight Freehand MOSFET edition with Haku on top, Bell Vapes cap, and an Omen tip, of course. Rail cracker inside. This goes with me everywhere. Everything else is a backup. But this is an Art and Mod Evo. And inside of here, I have got Coil Vapes Sweet Pea still. And on top is something that I meant to talk about last week, and we completely forgot. But this week, I put it in the notes, so hopefully we'll remember how to do it. But on top there is a Hussar RDTA and also an Omen post-out tip, just like the other one. Last but not least, I would normally say I've got a billet box with abolishment in it. And while that is true, I'm not really using it. You'll find out why. But the short version is, for right now anyway, there's a new atomizer in there. It's called the Bastard. The Bastard.
Bastard.
The Bastard. So that's in there. But what I'm working on right now is this little monkey. This has got my abolishment in it at the moment. This is from Innikin. It's called the Chroma A. And it's got a tank on top whose name escapes me. Cryos. And we'll talk about this in a little bit too. But that's pretty much what I've been vaping. A couple other things here and there. That's mostly it. Best.
Negatory.
Oh God, that's tough.
Tonight.
Yeah, like it's
I think you breathed it in.
That was miso soup and dumplings that my
goddamn.
Is that a
Ginger.
Is that geek little cup back there? Is that a Texas size shot glass?
It is a shot glass, yeah.
Yes.
This is what I usually will bathe my O-rings in with a little bit of Everclear or something if I'm needing to clean it out. This is my Everclear bottle. That's not that I don't drink out of. It's just there for holding things for cleaning. Like I'll put like a little splash in there or something when I'm cleaning something.
Duro is asking, how are the billet box clones? Well, it depends on when you got them.
Horror, I do have a cuticle issue. They always split, and I try to push them up, but when I push them up, it makes them worse sometimes. I don't know. Yeah, I have no idea about the billet box clones. I'm not gonna buy one. I've got billet boxes.
One of the first ones that came out were garbage.
Mm-hmm.
They were like cast aluminum. Weird.
You like that snort? That was the Lasty snort. They're like cast aluminum. I know.
So
it was
here,
just delightfully snotty. I like it.
I have to say the story. So before any of them, like the V1, this is old school billet box. A few years ago, one of them popped up overseas, and at that time I was in the works with Joe Litt. We're in the process of putting a DNA 30 in the billet box. This is back before pretty much nobody had done it.
You mean Joe Litt, the maker of such mods such as this?
Yep. And so I wasn't going to destroy. There you go.
Hey, look at you.
I wasn't going to destroy my actual OG billet box. So I'm like, here's and at that time, they're pretty freaking expensive. It was like $75 for this fucking piece of shit. And I still have it somewhere, or maybe I gave it away. I'm not sure. But anyway, so it was one of the first clones ever out. And I get it, and I get the box. I'm like, is there even anything in here? Like, what's going on?
I've forgotten that you bought that. That's true.
Yeah. And oh man, the threads were horrible, and the lid, didn't fit. But I didn't care about that because what I was looking for is the dimensions on the inside were close enough. And this thing, I just started with the Dremel, and it was just like chunks just breaking off. I mean, it looked like it was cast, and it was just like pressure cast, you know. So it was like porous, and I'm like, man, this Chinese ain't gonna work. So I abandoned that. But yeah, so they were pretty shitty back in the day.
And that was the Billbox 3.1, right? Or the 3 anyway.
Yeah, the original billet box.
Yeah,
not the
OG. Rev 4.
Correct. Yeah. So, but yeah, and I mean, like the tank on the inside, it was made out of like some weird plastic, and it looked like it was, it looked like the plastic that I don't know why this comes up, but the Pizza Hut restaurants used to have, which was the red, like the red cups. The plastic that the cups was made out of, that if you dropped it, just shattered into, you know, billion pieces, you know, the normal restaurant cups, you know, so, but anyways, yeah, didn't even vape out of that thing. I don't think I didn't even know if it worked. I didn't care. I was taking it apart. Anyways, so
Mr. Clean TV just asked what juice we're vaping on tonight. We already went over that. Oh, maybe he's asking chat. It was not clear.
No, what I was going to say earlier was, and Mooch doesn't watch this show anymore, so we can talk about it now. So this is the second or third post that I have seen in regards to batteries coming from IMR batteries with wraps that are damaged.
Oh, damn.
This one was just posted 2 hours ago by user Big T92. And, you know, he said, hey, you know, he already sent them an email and they offered to replace them. So he's going to send these back and, you know, to get up. But those are, I mean, the first two nicks, or the last two nicks, not too bad.
No,
that first one,
bad, though.
You know, and what he didn't post on here though was, and maybe somebody in chat knows what IMR battery sends them in. Do they send them in cases?
Mm-hmm.
Because, you know, if they do, then that's definitely, you know, happening at either their packaging
they do,
or
I believe you order in pairs.
They do. Okay.
I'm trying to remember if IMR sends it in the box or if they just send a box. I feel like IMR is one of the ones that sends them in the small paper box and then a cardboard box too, in a box.
Yeah.
There's one of it's either IMR or Lion Wholesaler. One of those.
Yeah,
two
chat
guys.
says they do come in cases.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I'm pretty
So
sure I
he
have
said-
one of the cases.
I just found the post. He made it not so long ago. He said they were shipped in plastic cases. They give out whenever you order a pair of batteries. These cases have no padding in them and have some sharp corners. I'm not surprised any batteries shipped in this fashion might have a probability of being delivered with torn. See, I don't think they can get torn in the cases.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Unless
it wouldn't get torn there.
Not like
Right.
that. Not like that top one.
Yeah.
No way.
So
Unless
there's-
they got them and they just slammed them in or something on the way in. I don't know. That's weird.
Yeah, and it's weird too. Oh, look at that! I start talking about batteries, and freaking the devil himself shows up in chat. Welcome, Mooch. So hey, maybe he can. Oh, he's been listening. So maybe he can shed some light on this. And you know, because one of the things that I noticed, and somebody mentioned it in the thread, is that they're all nicked in the same location.
Yeah.
Like right around that corner, like that top.
Maybe they got a biter in the warehouse.
I don't know. I'm trying to offer feasible explanations here, my dude.
I mean, that's a good point. But yeah, I mean, you know, we'll zoom in on here. It's right on that.
Yeah, that's a biter.
lip.
That's a biter.
You know, and out of all places, that is, you know, that area there is no bueno to be getting. But you know, you see, the second got a dent. I don't know. I just, you know, maybe IMR just got the batteries in like this. You know, I don't. Could you imagine if they put each battery in the case? I mean, that's.
Yeah, that's the only thing that makes sense to me is if they were somebody was palm checking them into that case really hard or something.
Yeah. So
assuming that's done by hand.
there we go. That's all we got to do. Talk about some batteries, and El Mucho shows up. He's probably got some like listening setup that if we start saying his name or batteries, it starts alerting him.
What if we're talking about assault and battery? Will at least he'll show up?
I don't know. Maybe. But yeah, so there you go. So keep an eye on, of course, the top post in here is for Lion Wholesale. If you need a new supplier. Yo is lying. So, but there you go. Your mileage may vary when you get some batteries like these. So, but check them out. I mean, yeah, a lot of these companies, man, they're shipping out thousands of batteries. So, some might get, QC might get past them. So,
Maybe.
It's, yeah, maybe. I mean, and something like this is no biggie. Get you some wraps and rewrap them.
Mm-hmm.
So,
well, and if you bought from IMR Batteries, they actually send you wraps.
Yeah, and they offered to swap them out.
2 free ones. Well, yeah, and that's good. They should. Those first wraps should definitely not come nicked like that, especially that top one. I mean, that top one was straight through to the top of the contact, right by the positive and negative there. That's not cool.
Yeah.
But it is cool that they do send wraps with them.
Yeah.
Logo all over them.
And the next thing, I mean, we're going out of order here with the news, but it doesn't matter. That's what we're talking about. So, another issue that came out, I think it was about 2 days ago, was somebody posted about a message that they received. Basically, it was a post on Facebook about .mod. Okay. And basically, it was interaction between Dash Vapes and .mod, and there's back and forth. And there's been an issue with RMA on boxes that have had batteries that have been, puffed or are, exceeding their size constraint, and they're not holding a charge. And I mean, some of the responses from .mod have been on these boxes, and I think it's been basically .mod said that it's by design and they're not going to replace them. So we all know, the lipos will puff a little bit, but not enough to interfere with door or interfere with being able to pull them out or anything like that. So and just what I thought was the issue appears only to be when you let the battery to die completely. So if it sits on the shelf, if it's coming, we already know that they're coming in the slow boat from China. So that's a long time. And I'm pretty sure Mooch will chime in, but usually they'll send those with a charge on the lipos that's meant to, be a storage charge to last for a while.
60% charge or something like that, right?
Right. So, but the issue comes when .mod basically is insinuating that retailers should be opening the packages and plugging them in to charge them to keep them charged, which the storage charge should take care of that. Now, I don't know. Okay, so he says I'm receiving several of those mods and batteries for testing soon. So that'll be interesting to see what Mooch finds out about this, because there's been, quite a bit of back and forth, and the text is too small for me to put up on the screen, but we'll put up links. I'll get the links to Angsty and put them up so you guys can see.
They're not any good. So. I mean, it's not any good for you to store lithium-ion cells at max charge anyway. You're supposed to store them at like 50, 60%.
You should have them at a basically what they call a storage charge.
Right.
So basically keep an eye on that. And they're basically the 300 watt units are the ones that are having the puffy battery issue.
Huh.
So, if you got one of those, stuff like that should just be, an easy RMA and go.
Yeah. Josh Miller says that since James and Leah left, quote unquote, left, their customer services sucked. And was it .mod? They were one of the ones that got bought out, right? By like a Chinese firm or something? Something like that.
Pretty much, I think they got bought out.
Yeah, I believe so.
Well, or like hostily taken over kind of thing, right? It was a bad situation, if I remember right.
Yeah. And I mean, like the shop that I was talking about, they had already replaced 10 of those units for their customers because, That's a manufacturer defect.
If I get something that's got a lipo in it and it's swollen, that's just going back.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna feed it protein personally.
Yeah. So they're official, and to set the record straight here, so I don't try to sue me. Anyways, the message went, they said, hey, we have some of these mods that have puffy batteries and will not hold a charge. These are brand new units that have never been sold yet. They're sitting on a shelf. What do you want to do? And a person by the name of Whitney McNeil from .mod replied and said, unfortunately, LiPo batteries will swell when adequate charge is not maintained. As it is stated in the manual of the dot box, we offer replacements for $20 wholesale plus shipping. Currently, we're out of stock due to the battery manufacturer not supplying them anymore. We are hoping to find a new supplier within the next 2 weeks and have them restock. Feel free to email us and email us back in about 2 weeks, and we should have an update. So
they got some swole ass lipos that fell off the back of the truck, and they can't find the guy again.
Correct. That, and you know what happened to their stock of batteries. This is a big issue. So a lot of people are probably just buying them up. So and of course they wrote back and said, so you think as a retailer we should be opening these brand new boxes and mods and charging them constantly? That's bullshit.
Mooch just said the same thing.
Matt, do you have the video of the chemical plant exploding in China?
No, I don't.
But Mooch just said that with no current draw on the mod, they should be okay for a couple of years of storage at the storage level. So
absolutely.
I
have some lipos that have been in storage for over a year and a half, 2 years, and they're perfectly fine. And every so often I'll check the voltage on them, and it's fine. So
yeah,
there's got to be, I remember a time, it was probably 3 years ago, when lipos really became popular to put in mods, and you started seeing the issues of residual power usage in mods, because there was no, and all of them were affected. Yeehee boards were affected. DNA boards were affected. Some of the StarPlat boards were affected. I mean, there was an actual draw of power there, over a period of days. And, even with 18650s, you could, jump start them and get them up to a voltage and charge them. And the battery ain't going to be the same after, but, it'll hold the charge and work for a little bit. Lipos, it starts getting rough because now you start having puffiness and you start having issues. So and that was a big deal because manufacturers, it was a thought that they never thought about, because hey, people are taking 1850s out, putting them back in, they use them, they run them down, they take them out. No one will put new batteries in and leave a mod in on the shelf. And the problem with the lipo mods was, guess what? Everybody's putting Torx head screws in, or screws where you can't unscrew them, and leaving it in the mod. So
and warranty stickers across the side that you can't.
And warranty stickers across the side. You're right. And so that's when they started finding out, oh man, these boards are drawing, even though they might be drawing just a tiny bit of amount over a week or two. That's quite a bit. So, it can happen. But so if you got one of these, keep an eye on them, because puffy lipo is no fun to be plugging back in and charging. As a matter of fact, I remember one of the Joe Light controllers someone gave me to fix for them had one of the single batteries that,
like the cylindrical ones that he was using.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Looked just like this guy, and it was probably swollen about just enough, and this battery's in there tight already, and it was just enough to pop the controller up. So it happens, but if they're coming like that from the manufacturer, no bueno. So there you go. Battery count.
Mr. Clean TV is asking, what batteries would you guys say is the best brand battery? Just curious. It depends on your application, right? Depends on what you're using it for. If you're using it on something that's unregulated, I think the current pick is the Sony 5A,
25R,
or the 25R. That's the Samsung, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. If you're doing regulated, I still like the VTC 6. The VTC 6 is a really nice self-regulated. It lasts for a long time.
And honestly, to answer a whole bunch of your questions, you can start by going to what's in chat right now and go from there. That is the link to www.tasteyourjuice.com/WordPress/the-battery-mooch.
Or just tasteyourmooch.com.
Or just tasteyourmooch.com. I was trying to be nice to the new guy asking questions. There you go.
Well, no, but both of those things go to the same place, right?
I know, but just so go by there, click the link, check them out, read you, learn you some, and ask away. So and stuff like this too is, and this is something that we haven't talked about for a while. Sorry, I'm running my mouth here and taking up all your precious time there, Angsty. But we haven't.
Oh.
we haven't talked about new people coming in and asking questions, because for the longest time it's been the same old shit with vaping and all that, and something that we used to do before because we saw a lot more newer folks coming in. But remember, when you're doing research online, that over time the batteries have changed.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be a lot of these let's say blogs and web pages and stuff like that don't get updated. Like I think there was one called the Ohm page. I don't know, but anyways, they don't get updated. So any of the reviews or any updates like that have coming up are probably from old stuff. So VTC batteries are like VTC 3s and some of the 4s and stuff like that. And even Doodoo Browns. I mean, they've been around for quite some time. I
still got a couple of rotation.
Yeah, and some AW batteries and stuff like that. Make sure you check out somebody like Mooch. That is
to that point though, Masty, just to interject here for just a minute, Mooch is just saying that to stop sending people to the repository on Taste Your Juice. He said if they want current stuff, to go to his Facebook page, which is Battery Mooch on Facebook, or to his blog on ECF. Okay. Well, see, try to help some people, and he says, "Fuck you." Well, that's what I get. So that's all right. I'm used to it. I give him enough shit that he can get his jabs in there. But anyways, so if you're a newcomer and you're looking into batteries, the worst place to get information about batteries is at your local vape shop. Why? Because I'm sorry. I mean, I know there's going to be one or two people that are going to say, "Oh, but my shop's got the best." 90% of the time, they're probably going to be getting their information from Mooch, and it might be second or third hand. So, and remember, these people are there to sell you a product. So, we see all kinds of images of vape shop horrors of batteries just sitting in a cup holder with pens and paper clips and all that other stuff. They're like, "Oh, here you go."
Second or third hand Mooch information's like Mooch saved a crackhead from burning himself with a smoke alien or something.
Purple monkey dishwasher
happened.
That's like third hand Mooch information.
Yeah. So I mean, there you go. Just check online. Go to the ECF. Do not go to tasteyourmooch.com or any of those other sites, because apparently they're a repository. This rhymes with suppository. 18650 size suppository for Mooch.
What do you suppose?
Yeah. Well, there you go. So that's all I got right now. You can continue. Angsty, did you see the post about making leather sleeves for your mods?
No.
I was like,
for your jewels.
This is sleeveless. Yeah. No. A guy made a leather sleeve for his SX mini G class, and I think a scrotum bag would have been better for it. I mean, oh my God.
Hold on. There you go.
Ooh. I mean, hey, whatever.
It looks It looks like something you'd find in like the Dwarven Ruin in Skyrim.
I mean, poor mod. They make really nice sleeves for them that are not that expensive. I'm wondering how much he paid for that leather, or if he killed
Yeah, but
something.
if you make it yourself, though, that's still cool. I think that's still cool.
Okay.
Is it something that I would rock? No, but I didn't make it. Right? I've got a vape stand in there that I made when I first started vaping, and it's awesome. And I'm sure nobody would pay money for it, but I paid it, and it looks cool. I think it's awesome.
I'm sorry. If I'm gonna rock a leather case on my mod, I guess I have to have a thumb ring too.
But the one thing I don't understand is it doesn't protect the areas that are going to hit, like the bottom.
There's a company out there. I feel like it's an Italian company that makes ones for the billet box that are really, I mean, professional quality. They're really nice, and Italian leather and all that stuff, and they're not cheap, but it's pretty cool. I wouldn't use them though. I mean, half the point of the billet box is it's kind of small and slim. I'm not going to want to add girth to it, so to speak.
So Motherhead said he killed it, skinned it, dried it, tanned it out, and stretched it, then cut it into a Yeehee case with a creepy Saturn fire button. There you go. That's how we roll. So there you go. If you want to make your leather sack. Okay, sorry, I won't interrupt you again.
Interrupt me. You're just talking about your news. That's okay.
Yeah. So
we do have to give a shout out to Dwayne. Dwayne from Inoken. He sent over some things, which was very kind of him. That we're going to talk about. They just came in today, so I don't think the others. I don't even know if you've gotten broken into them. I actually did break into one of them to give the thing a test. This thing, the Chroma A, is it the A? Here's the A. Yeah, Chroma A. This thing is so tiny. It's so big, tiny.
Wait, you have to hold the box up to the camera in case someone beyond vape wants to use it.
I was so happy and sad, and then happy to see a box from China show up, because I bought something like 6 weeks ago, or maybe 6-7 weeks ago, from a post on Reddit, and it was this nice tapestry of a mermaid and all this stuff, and I was gonna get it for my wife, and I ordered it, and I see the fucking Chinese box show up, and I'm like, yeah, I got here, and I didn't even look at the name of the address, and I rip open the bag that it came in, and she's like, oh, what is that? I'm like, oh, it's just awesome thing I bought you. It's a gift, and I ripped the box, and I'm like, fucking Inoken.
Time to give up the smokes, honey.
Like, damn it. And then I open it up, I'm like, oh well, yay, it finally showed up. So it was kind of like, bittersweet. So that means I got to call my credit card company and be like, they doing shit.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Well, it's crazy. The company, it had this huge post on Reddit, and it was like super upvoted, and I can't find a post, and their Shopify site has disappeared.
Oh dear.
The email is like, it was like they got this influx of orders. I got a tracking number that is fake and doesn't exist, and then it disappeared.
Mrs. D's Bakery.
Hey, you know what? We should do a follow-up on that to find out what the hell happened to those people. Yeah, we should do
Where are they now?
A bunch of money. That's what happened with them.
Yeah, they're sitting fat and happy in their ranch, and
Hey,
where the hell they're at.
Bring one TV court. Dun, dun, dun,
Yeah.
dun, dun,
Yeah,
dun,
that's a good episode to go look back on and find out where them fools ended up.
Yeah.
Matter of fact,
I do want to show this stuff though. Let's not. We're going a little sideways. I want to finish this thing because I want to show what you don't see. What you don't see there. There's no gap.
Oh,
There's no gap.
Dios mío.
This 510 is really, really nice. The little pin, it moves. It's supposed to move. It comes back up when you take something out of there.
it looks like the Avid.
It does kind of look like the Avid 510, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But all I know is that it's got a movable pin, and when it catches like immediately when you screw it on, there's no gap when it's done. It's really nice. It's a nice little guy. I don't know how much of a fan I am of the tank yet. I believe it was our friend Todd that said that it takes a little time to break in the heads because they're still a little cottony. I've been through about a tank or so on here, and they're still a little cottony. I haven't used a Clearo in quite some time. I'm sure that's probably one of the reasons. But this dinky little tank's got 4 mil in it, and the mod goes up to 75 watts. 75 watts. And it does temperature limiting. And one thing I will say that I thought was kind of cool, because I don't know if I'm going to be running this tank again next week. The airflow adjustment. Okay, so if you've ever used it in a tank, the airflow adjustment is usually just a ring that's like press fit on the bottom, right? And then you just like unscrew the bottom thing and lift off the coil head. And that's how you replace it, right?
Not diffused.
This one, not diffused. This one actually has like positive stops. It still does pull off the bottom, but it's got positive stops on it, which I really like in an atomizer. It makes the Addy feel like it was actually designed for a purpose, right? As opposed to just slapping a ring on there. Anyway, I think that's pretty cool. If you open it wide open, there's like 3 giant slots in the bottom. It's a lot of air, and I imagine you could probably ramp this up pretty hard. I've got it pretty low right now, so the ramp up is a little bit long. But I've got abolishment here. I don't like it when it's hot. I like abolishment cold. So I've just got it down a little bit right now. Anyway, I haven't tried out the other guys yet. The new Endura T20S is a stick. It's like a tube mod, so to speak, but it's regulated. And there's also the Easy Watt, which I think is like it doesn't, instead of like adjusting by half watt increments, whatever, you have to choose from a few different things. I think I haven't used it yet. I don't know. What I do know is Inikin stepped up their packaging game, man. So it's got like a sleeve, and then like it's got a little nice pull tab on it. Like it feels like you're unboxing like an Apple product. It's actually pretty cool. So far, I think the mod is really cool, especially with how big it is. And it's got 2,000 mAh on the lipo. Tank is.
I was going to show while you were talking. I was going to show the unboxing of it.
Oh yeah, do it.
So keep talking.
Got you clicked.
No, keep talking the specs.
Well, you will see on the cover the ugly ass Ultim tip. They've fallen to the bastard communists. Put an Ultim tip on it, but they do have a 510 adapter for the tank, which is nice. Innovation inside. So yeah, under that side is the important side, of course, and that's got, look how tiny it is, Massey.
That's pretty small.
Isn't that cool?
We're looking at oh man, we're gonna go old school here.
Get the Canada Lepers.
So
2 3/4.
3/4. Yeah. 2 3/4 by I mean the widest part is probably on the top here. So by about 1 and just a hair over 1 3/4. So.
Chris Webster's asking if it has a gap with other atomizers. I've only screwed on the one other one so far, and that is the freaking the hell is this thing called? What's the tank I've been using called? Skyline, the e-smoke guru. No gaps. That's the only other one I've even tried on there so far. I just got it in. We just got them in today, so.
I'll try my Mulciber.
Yeah, there's a Mulciber. Yep.
No gap.
No gap is no. I think that is pretty, or the 510 is pretty nice. They definitely have stepped up their 510 game.
They've always had decent 510s at the very worst.
Well, they've always been a good connection, but they almost always have gaps.
There's the 510 up close. Very nice. We can also check. Let me put this back here. Let's see what kind of storage charge this thing's got. You can see the link in there.
Mine was actually charged.
Oh, look at that, all the way charged.
Yeah, mine was all the way charged.
So there's that. There's your pieces.
I do want to address Duro's being very stinky about it. I want to address because he doesn't like the way they look, and that's fine. I understand that, and I can actually agree with it. But I just Googled them. It's a $30 mod, Duro. Easy.
Yeah, it's pretty ergonomic too.
Yeah, it's been pretty comfy today. I mean, so I don't know how awesome it works or how long the battery lasts or anything like that. All I know is it came in today. It's really small and it seems like it works.
Here's your accessories. It comes with a cock ring.
Oh, sweet.
Zero cock ring.
Don't the UK guys call those fanny rings? I think.
Yeah, and you have in the package, you have your charging cable,
Mm-hmm.
a few more O-rings, and
That's your 510 drip tip adapter.
Yeah.
That's not Ultim.
you have your, is what's his name still doing the illustration for? I think he is, isn't he?
Jimmoth?
Dimmoth? Yeah.
It does look like it's still that looks like a Jimmoth thing. Yep.
Yeah, that's awesome. And you have more information in here. This is really cool. That's really good.
Do they have a recommended wattage on the Chroma tank? Because they're low. I mean, it's 0.66 or 0.68 or something ohms. I just don't know what it recommends running it at.
Let's see.
Oh Lord, that's gonna be crazy.
What's that? Oh, sorry. So you have your the customer information card, battery care guide, very cool. Nikon stickers, and then you're looking for. No, I don't.
I was just curious if they have a thing because I've got it running at 28.5 right now and it's fine.
Yeah. So there you go. That's what's in the box.
Cool. Anyway, so I just want to say thanks. That was very kind of them to send that over to check it out because that is something that we don't often ourselves go and purchase. Is some of the because to Masty's point, I was talking about the newer vapors coming by. We don't always do a great job of picking up some of the new starter kits.
Correct.
So it was nice of them to send that over for us to give a whack.
Yeah, thank you.
So there's that. Let's kill that thing. What else we're going to talk about? There are two things I'm going to talk about. One of which we're going to have to go up close and look at it. The other one, I'm not sure if we need to do that for this one. So I wanted to say thank you to Shane, who sent over the Hussar RDTA. He's been a guy that's been watching for a long time, and he lent this atomizer to me because he's got two of them and he likes it. So he thought he'd send it over because it's not one that I purchased. So Hussar is, I believe, Polish, I think, and they made a tank, an RTA first, and then they made this little dripper. It's technically an RDTA because it's got a little tiny tank, on the bottom, but it's basically a dripper, but it squonks, which is nice. But I thought I'd show you a couple of things about it because it's a pretty tidy little thing. It's interesting. Let's do a little close-up action. So the top cap is cut up, nice tiny little chamber, and you can see right there at the top there's a little chamfer, a little hole, and that fits into a part of the deck so that it keeps that little tiny little chamber from shorting as you adjust the air, which is pretty cool. And the deck looks like this. The tiny little deck, just enough room for your cotton to go into your little holes. You've got a large hole down at the bottom for filling. If you're just using it to fill, you don't have to have this in squonk mode. You can actually fill that little thing and then also drip from the top if you want. So that's what the large hole is. The second one is just a little weeping hole, and then the last little nubbin at the top, this guy right now, right there, that's the little thing that keys into the top cap that keeps things nice and straight. So the interesting thing about it is your air flows right through here. So it comes out from the outside here, and then it comes in, straight in and hits the coil. It's a really unusual design because it's obviously super flat. Super flat. And the air is coming in like that. I haven't been blown away by this thing. It's not bad. I would actually say it's quite good. But I think it was I feel like it was Motherhead that said in the days of the Narda and the NAR-BA and the NAR-TA, it's not fantastic. It's not something that's going to blow anybody out of the water. But at the same time, it is good. But there's a couple things that I don't like about it. The first is I don't like building on it. I can't put a 3 millimeter coil in it because of that little channel that you got to put things in. That channel is super tight. I've got a 2.5 in there right now, and that's about what it likes. And then the other thing is getting the leads underneath those screws. You kind of have to take them out. You don't really have to take them out, but you kind of have to take them out to get them to go in there very easily. It's not bad, but it's kind of tight. And also getting the elevation right in that really, really tight little channel, because you got to get it kind of down, but not too far down. It's not the easiest build. I guess I put it that way. It's not bad, but it's not the easiest build. Squonking works pretty well. I also don't really like the fact that it's a tank that's closed, because obviously you can't see it. There's no windows or anything in there, so you don't really know when it's full until it starts gershing out the top out of your fill holes and the weep hole. Anyway, it's not bad. It's just I think I'd rather just be using a regular dripper where I can see everything a little easier.
Are those mod pieces I see?
What's that?
Are those mod pieces I see on Massey's screen?
Probably.
Yeah.
You can definitely get this thing
Yeah,
chugging. I mean,
I'm not watching this yet. No, I said don't look at my screen. Keep paying attention to AC.
I mean, this thing definitely, you get it built right, it chucks, it does its job. The nice thing about it is the airflow is pretty restricted. It's actually a little bit more restricted than the Narda. So if you like a little bit more of a restricted vape, it's a nice warm vape. That's good. Now Duro's dumping on StatQualm. Man, there's no pleasing that guy tonight. No pleasing
Duro. The extreme. I honestly, I wouldn't have tried it just based on the name of that thing.
The name was funny.
I mean, maybe it could have been like a Sega console.
I didn't mind the Extreme. The problem with the Extreme for me was the one that I bought was pre-owned, and it reeked of cantaloupe. It was horrific. And if you watch the show when I had it, I tried everything to get the cantaloupe out of there. I swear to God that went into the stainless steel because I took that thing to pieces and couldn't get it clean. And I sent it up to Will, and Will said he couldn't really get it clean either. He tried. I think he was doubting my thoroughness to get it clean. And when I said, he's like, "Yeah, I can do it. Don't worry about it. Sit it there." Now that said, the Squape E-Motion. So Dean just said the E-Motion is the best RTA he's ever used. I have heard that from several people that have owned some really nice atomizers. That the E-Motion is really good. I have not purchased one yet. I've been considering it, but here's the problem. That's what I was going to say. So the other problem with the Extreme and now the E-Motion, which I hear nothing but good things about, is I've kind of stopped vaping tanks.
The tables have turned, darkness.
Yeah, the tables have definitely turned to squonking, darkness.
Hold on, look at chat.
What's that?
Look at our chat.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's awesome. Craig made the nutsack. See, did you see what he said? He basically said exactly like I said. It doesn't matter if we like the way it looks, because just like my stupid looking vape stand, which I'm not saying that thing's stupid looking. I'm saying my stand is goofy looking and nobody would ever buy it, but I love it because I made it. I think that's cool. I think you should do
R2D2 vape stand.
What's that?
I have an R2D2 vape stand.
You do have an R2D2 stand. Mother has said he watched me go through rigorous scientific cleaning, and when he sent it up to me, it smelled like cantaloupe through the USPS packaging. I agree. I agree. No, Duro, I couldn't claim the stank. So all right, fine. We'll go through it again. I took that thing to bits, down to the insulator out, all the O-rings off.
I will attest, I've seen it.
I washed that thing with hot water. I washed it with hot water and soap. I put it in
holy water?
No holy water. I put it in my ultrasonic with hot water with soap. I put it in the ultrasonic with white vinegar. I put it in I soaked all the pieces in denatured alcohol or grain alcohol, like Everclear, like hard, pure alcohol to get that thing out. Did the same thing with the soft kits, the soft parts like the O-rings and whatnot. I replaced all of those at some point because I got it pretty good after the Everclear and the vinegar. Actually, those are the things that work best. And then I replaced all of the O-rings and stuff and put that in there, and the fucking thing I could still smell it. Now, the problem is A, I've got a really good nose, and B, I hate cantaloupe. I just can't stand anything about that. Something must have gotten to the E-metal bullshit. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. All I know is it's stuck.
So two things you didn't try was A, holy water, B, baking it.
I did not. I also didn't try baking it. That's true.
Just like throw it in your oven at like 200 degrees.
Did not do that. No, I didn't. After I did everything that I reasonably thought would work.
Yeah. I wasn't. I don't think I was thinking of the oven. You should have been thinking of holy water. Though.
Scott Runyon said I should just drank the Everclear, that you wouldn't care about the melon flavor.
Right.
Mr. Clean TV said he's taking apart that mod right now, isn't he? He probably is.
Apart. It's apart. Just give me a second. I gotta unsolder the phone.
Mr. Clean's the winner. Well done, sir. Or madam, or wherever you are. I guess Mr. You could probably assume the gender if you're calling yourself Mr.
My name's Rod.
So, like Shane Hammond said, Shane's in the chat. Thank you, Shane, again for lending me this very interesting atomizer that works pretty well, but I hate building on it. And then I've got, I guess, Masty, if are you ready to do an impromptu tech time?
Yeah.
You do that. I'm gonna start getting set up for mine because I'm gonna break something down for everybody.
I'm gonna get a bowl of cereal.
You're gonna get a bowl of cereal.
Why the fuck not?
Yeah, go at it.
Okay. So here's the breakdown. We'll have. Let me switch mics. 1 second. Audio.
Okay. How do I coming in good?
Yep.
Testing.
Okay. So basically you have your bottom piece comes out. Again, you should not be taking apart your mods. Comes out and you take the grip off to the side. It's got 2 Torx on the bottom plate and 2 Torx on the 510. And you desolder the 510 and then you can pull the before you do that, you have to take the screw from the negative post that goes onto the 510. So there's a place for a screw right there. So basically that sits like that in the mod, which is really nice. That's a heavy gauge metal. And yeah, it's really thick. And that's the negative directly, which is nice. They didn't run it through the mod like most users do. You know, something that's interesting, and I like this, is they have put an O-ring on the outside of this 510.
Well, look at that. That's cool. That's cool as shit.
When it sits in the mod, it is completely sealed. That is really cool.
That's snug as fuck.
That's really cool. Man, people are getting a treat. We haven't done tech time in a long time. Yeah, and it's in there. I mean, that is snug. So that's really neat. Good on Anakin for sealing that stuff up. And it looks like there's a seal on the bottom of this one too.
How many times did you get mods back in repair Massey, that was full of juice?
You don't want to know.
How many of them belong to the same person?
Yeah. Hashtag baller. So this piece right here is pretty heavy duty aluminum. I mean, it is, that's solid. So I think this is a good lasting mod. This plastic piece seems, pretty good too. I'm just wondering about, people dropping them and stuff like that. It's got these 2 posts that come up to the top. This is hard, aluminum too. It says 2000 mAh battery on the bottom of the case. You have your smoke screen for where the screen is at, and you have your button with the clear plastic around it for the LED to show through, the color LED. Let's see. There we go. I don't know if you saw the LED flash. There's your screen. Okay, and a lot of Anakin stuff. They've always had these really cool boards on their batteries. This one's got a date stamp of 2015-05-23. Not the battery. This is the board. And you can see, I don't want to move it over too much here. You can see these 2 guys here. Okay. And those are some fuses.
I was going to say, those look like fuses.
Resettable fuses, yep. And I can't read the markings on them, but and here's your your standard battery, kind of like a little bit bigger than the one I showed. This one says right there 3.7 volt, 2017 0825 HT. Okay, and that is a LiPo, and there are no other readings on it. So sorry, Anakin, if I'm
There's protection
showing
circuitry
this
on that
for you.
battery.
Absolutely, yep. This
Yep.
is a protection circuitry right here, and I'm sure the board has some also built in. And there's a screen, nice screen with a cradle. And real interesting is the connector that they're using to go from one board to another. As you can see, it is not a ribbon, so this is solid. I think it's a really well built mod. No hot glue anywhere. There's your chip on the back. If we see if we can get the Anakin sticker off of here. Man, that's on there. I can see what's under it. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get it off without leaving a trace, so you guys could see what chip. And it's just got an R on it, no number on it under it. So, but there's void all your warranties right there, and there's the back of the board. And all them caps. And the board really doesn't look like it's got. Well, it's got a serial number description on it. IK 710-00, and it's version 0.2. So it's right in there. Let's see if it'll focus. Come on, sucker. It ain't gonna want to focus. So. But anyways, there you go. You have your fire button and your up and down and your USB. I'll make sure we get the little plastic covers on there. So, and all that packed into this little package. So there you go. There's your buttons and your 510. Really cool 510 with the O-ring on the outside.
Yeah, it's badass.
So it's solid. I mean, that's one piece.
The return spring on the 510 pin felt a little mushy to me, but it still worked.
Let's see.
Like it didn't come up as fast as I would have expected, at least when it was together.
Yeah, but you know what, Anksy? It's got a really thick positive. So.
Oh yeah, maybe it's just pushing that fucking wire down.
Yeah.
Wire.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. That might have been it.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, but it does work. That's the important part.
Yep. There you go. So there's a view at the internals of the board. Your screen.
16 gauge wire, 18 gauge wire. That's beefy.
Yeah, it looks like. Let me see if there's any markings on it. 150C. Yeah, it's pretty thick. So, and the negative going onto the 510 it's solid. Looks like brass or.
Yeah, it does look like brass.
Coated.
Yeah.
So. Yeah.
Cool.
There you go.
So the thing that I was going to show tonight is this other Addy that Shane very kindly sent along, and it goes in that. The thing that's the weirdest part about this is since it's a build box Addy, it's going to be really hard to show you like the build. So I figured it might be easiest if I showed you the unbuild. Like so, if I actually like pulled it apart, and then you can actually see kind of what goes into building it. But the thing that I want to show you before I do that is the weirdest thing about using it. It doesn't taste bad, but the thing that I haven't been able to figure out so far is the ramp. So I built it initially like somebody had mentioned building it with like 24 gauge or something. I was like, oh, okay, that's goofy. I'm going to do 25 anyway. So I built it with 25. The ramp up was so long. I was like, okay, fine. I'll build it with 27, right? I'll jump the resistance up. We'll use some more voltage. We'll get the heat flux back where it needs to be, and we'll do it that way, right? And so I built this one. Now, listen what has to happen. So it's pretty cold right now. Listen, I'm going to hold this up to the mic. Listen how long I have to fire this before it starts to vape. Ready? I'm going to click it now. Ready? 1, 2, 3, go. Did you hear that? It's like seconds, plural. It's the weirdest thing. I can't figure out why that happens. So I wanted to show it to you because, like I said, it would be impossible otherwise to.
That was literally like 5 seconds.
It legit is like 5 seconds. It is crazy, crazy, crazy long. So I'm going to pull this thing apart, and we're going to give this thing a little look-see. Because it is an interesting atomizer, and it might appeal to somebody, the biggest thing to me that you might be interested in, look at the bottom. It comes with 2 of these pins at the bottom, and those air holes are enormous. Huge air holes. So you can get a nice, it's still restricted, but not anywhere close to the way it often is in a built box atomizer. There's a much smaller one that's got smaller holes in there that would help as well. So I'm going to push this thing out. And you can see the little chimney here is kind of a cool little shape. So we're going to pull this guy out. And then we're going to grab a little towel and get us dried off. So you will, if you've ever built, either rebuilt a Cardo or rebuilt an Urk Addy, what was that, the Celuro or the Uno by Omen, you recognize this style of the bottom connection. So this actually comes right out, right here. And now that it's out, you can see the positive lead right there, kind of pressed against the insulator. So I'm going to kind of move that out of the way. We're going to pull the insulator out. And then we're going to unscrew the top. Now that we've unscrewed the top, you can see we've got these little notches. Where's something to point? We've got these little notches here, and there's several of them. So however your coil ends up being, this is where you can put your ground, your other lead. And here you can see our build. I'm going to push it out from the bottom so I can kind of keep it intact, so you can see how we're building this thing. Because what you'll see here is it's basically a Cardo or any number of the rebuildable heads that you can get, for your Clearos. It's a very, very strange little guy. So you basically have to cut yourself, a long strip of cotton and wrap it around your vertical coil. This giant vertical coil. So we'll put that there. Ugh. So this is how this thing's built. He's got this giant vertical coil, and you have to put one leg straight down. One of them comes off to the side that gets strapped upside, and then you wrap your cotton around and you put it in there. One of the big things that is, in my opinion, a negative. By the way, this is a 3.5 millimeter coil, giant coil. One of the things that you'll obviously be able to tell is a problem is the fact that when this wick goes, which all wick goes after a few days, you have to rebuild this. I mean, there's really no way around it, right? There's no way to pulse it. I've been totally spoiled by the Exoset. Totally spoiled by the Exoset. You pull that thing out of there, pull the lid off, take the cotton out, screw it down into a regular mod, and pulse it clean, right? It's nice. The other thing you can use that he did send along are these notch coils, which I think the first one of these came out when, oh God, who was that? Was that Watofo? No. It was Suck My Mods Addy, the first one that came out.
The Theorem.
Huh?
The Theorem.
The Theorem. That was the first time I think I saw these notch coils. But anyway, these guys have the leads coming straight up and down, which obviously fits right back inside the right back inside there. I haven't used one of those yet, although he sent me 3 of those to use. I always thought these were a cool idea. I mean, because obviously they look neat, but I've heard a lot of problems, especially with the here, let me pull one of these out. So one of the things I don't like about them is how the leads are attached. I wonder if I can get this thing to focus this close. I don't know if I've ever actually tried this. Let's see. Focus. Yeah, there we go. So the way these things are attached, let's get it even closer. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. See a little joint there? To me that looks like it's been soldered.
Mm-hmm. That's how the notch coils came.
Yeah. I mean, maybe it's silver solder. I don't know, but I don't know. The solder isn't something that I think about man, I should really inhale things that are being heated around it. I don't know. Like directly on my coil is something. I mean, we used to talk back in the day, and these guys will remember. Back in the day, we used to talk about some modders would insist on using silver solder inside the mods just in case things got too hot.
Yep.
And I don't know. To me, on your coil itself, that just seems to be a little meh. I don't know. J-Bo, yes. So it wasn't Suck My Light. It was J-Bo's Addy that they did through whoever it was. And I feel like it was Watopa, but maybe somebody else. It was J-Bo's Addy first. And then I think they tried to adapt that to Suck My Mods as well. Anyway, so I haven't been able to figure this thing out. I've had a couple of builds in it. They do work, except for that crazy long ramp-up time. And I can't figure that quite out. I mean, I was like, okay, well, maybe it's a bigger coil. It's definitely a bigger coil. But on the other hand, I was giving it enough wattage, on any other atomizer that would be working. And I was like, okay, well, maybe it's like a connectivity issue, right? Maybe it's not connected well through here. But the problem with that is then you would think that would affect the resistance. And it wasn't. Like the coil, even though it was bigger, was around the same resistance as I would expect. Wismec, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Clean. It wasn't Watofa, it was the other W. It was Wismec. So it's not affecting the resistance, so it probably isn't connectivity. I don't know what it is. All I know is this thing's got a crazy-ass ramp-up, and it made vaping it unpleasant. Not to mention the build was kind of a pain. But that said, it's not bad. And the only thing I could possibly think of when I was kind of brainstorming with Shane was maybe it's got something to do with the fact that you've got so much cotton wet, just saturated cotton that's just crammed around your coils. Like just so much surface area touching your coils. Maybe it just takes that little bit longer to warm up and start vaping. That's entirely possible. That's the only thing I can think of. That's
Can I just mention, God, I love this soldering iron because I just plugged it in.
Wait, hold on. Let me show you. The little pin one, the cordless? Yeah.
Gotta love this soldering iron. I just literally plugged it in. It heated up. I soldered this back on, and I'm done. Because here at the Plumes of Hazard, we don't take shit apart and break it. We take it apart and put it back together so it works. Continue. Sorry.
That's okay. Anyway, I don't necessarily think that this is a bad atomizer. What I do think is it requires a very specific kind of build, and if you like the vertical whatever build, that's fine. And I also think that ramp up thing is weird. And I also hate the fact that I'm totally spoiled by the exoset that I can pulse my coils clean and re-wick without having to rebuild, which I really like. And that doesn't happen here. But I guess I should show you the rest of the stuff that does come with it. I'm not sure if any notches come with it or not, but it does come in a little tin here, and it's got, to its credit, comes with quite a bit of spare parts. There's some extra O-rings in there. There's some extra insulators, which is good because I have in the past burnt through an insulator on the Uno when I was trying to pulse the coils. And here's that the other positive pin at the bottom with the smaller air holes, if that's something you're interested in. They have a group. If you search Facebook for Bastard Coil or Bastard Addy or something, yeah, you can get it. Motherhead gives it 0 out of 7 biscuits. Yeah, I would tend to agree. That's probably the right number of biscuits. And now I'm going to click back on Massey so you can watch that while I fix my camera. Looks like he's reassembling.
Almost done.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to desolder the 510 to get the board out cleanly, but no biggie.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Just take the screw out on the inside, and I'm gonna see if I can show.
But again, let's stress the fact that about how decently built that is. It's $30.
Absolutely. Oh man, for $30, this thing is insane. Like, I mean, I'm telling you, this even Ahmed would this thing would outlast Ahmed. So just to show, the screw hole is.
Oh, Masty, what's the name of your soldering iron?
I was actually going to ask, how much did you get it for? I remember you got it for a decent price.
Is the TS 100. There you go, right there. TS T as in Tom, S as in Sam 100. If you look it up on Amazon, they have it. I threw away the box that came with, but yeah, super tiny. I mean, pen style, and it uses a regular. I can't pull up the adapter now, but you need to buy the adapter. It does not come with the power supply, and a regular 1 amp 19 volt. Sorry, the output is a 19 volt 2.1 amp adapter, power adapter, and it just plugs into the back. And you can also take you can run this in the field with LiPo. So you just make your adapter for it and get a good size LiPo, and you can run it off that. So it's very inexpensive. So anyways, the screw hole that I was talking about, that the negative, there's the negative right there I'm pointing to. So there's the negative right there.
Mm-hmm.
And the screw hole is right below it, right there on the 510. Okay. There we go. Perfect. Right there's the negative port, and then there's the screw. So you got to make sure you have the board all the way down, and then put the screw in. So I need to put the buttons back in, because when I went to show that, they moved. So
I was just scrolling back to chat to see what it is. Dean asked if that was a spring. No, that was the enormous coil in that bastard, Eddie. The name says it all, Al. That's exactly what I said the other day. I said, the bastard is really living up to its name.
Bastard.
Bastards.
Bastard guy.
Oh, boy. Doop, 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 doop.
you can continue, Angsty.
No, I was just catching up with chat myself just to see if I missed everything while I was rolling through that little demo.
Rolling through that world.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's all I've got. I do want to say again, thank you to Shane for lending me those Addies. I am once it's built, I think the Hussar RDTA is pretty good. It's pretty good. It's not bad. The bastard, I don't like the bastard. it's not good. I don't like it. And maybe I'm building it wrong. I don't know. All I know is I've tried it a couple times and the build's not fun, and rewicking isn't very much fun. Yeah.
I'm tired today, dog.
Yeah. Shall we wrap it up? I think we should wrap it up. I feel like we've had a good informative show tonight, and we should cut off on a high note.
Well, let's quit while we're ahead.
That's right. Quit while we're ahead.
Action packed.
Do we have any outros tonight, Master? Is that not happening?
Yeah, let me stop here real quick.
You leave that on the healing bench for right now.
The thing goes scrap, hap, 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 boom, boom.
I want to make sure I don't lose my buttons again.
2 plus 2 equals 4 minus
There we go.
1. That makes 3.
That's it. So then you put
Quick math.
the side cover and all that on, and good to go.
Smoke trees.
Let's see. Which one should we?
Little pseudo Richard Cheese there.
Yeah. You can say no. It's okay. We can just sign off.
Yeah, I think that should be it. Well, actually, we'll play one for Ahmed, because he likes this one. So we will do. Our outro will be this.
There will be a giveaway.
Hold on. Wait.
Oh, sorry.
Wait. We should just say right before you get off here that we want to say thank you to everybody who came out to watch. Thank you for watching us after the fact. Keep on vaping, and thanks for coming. I don't know.
Don't forget to like, subscribe,
click the bell, all that crap. No, who cares about it? Don't forget to visit Foo's Patreon at patreon.com/foonneedsyourmoneybiatch.com.org.
Yeah, that's what it is this week.
You start
No.